What's up, you YouTubers? This is AlintheaYoh coming at you with a video about an individual card that I have recently found out about. Now, this is one of the second elemental lords that is coming out. The first, obviously, if you've been keeping an eye on Return of the Duelist or YCS Toronto, you'll see that the first one is Grand Soil, the elemental lord. Basically, that one is the same stats as this one, but it's a monster reborn. It's a special summon a monster when it's summoned. It's also for Earth, so you have to have exactly 5 Earths in your grave to special summon it from your hand. Now, this is, as I said, this is the second elemental lord, and basically, what this one does is pretty good. As usual, 2,800 attack and 2,200 defense. It's an 8-star water sea serpent. And its effect is a trigger effect. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by removing exactly 5 water monsters in your graveyard, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. When this card is special summoned, you can discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. The effect of Moulin Glace, the elemental lords, can only be activated once per turn. If this card leaves the field, skip the battle phase of your next turn. Now, for you guys who would remember the older cards, this is basically Delinquent Duo on legs, or spikes, as the picture is. I can't really make out. It's kind of flying, isn't it? But regardless, yeah, Moulin Glace is pretty good in my opinion. Not only is it a 2/8 beat stick, it discards 2 random cards in your opponent's hand, and you can do it once per turn for each of the monsters. Now, at first, I kind of like skimmed over it, and I was like, yeah, that's quite good, and I thought it said once per duel, and I was like, okay, that's fair enough, but once per turn is pretty crazy. If you manage to get that off, you've basically minus, what, 3 your opponent? It's just crazy. Discarding 2, understandable. Some people might say that it's you know, not that great, because your graveyard is your deck, but you could so easily like abuse that. And also, if you double check the effect, it says you can discard 2 random cards from your opponent's hand. It doesn't specify they have to go to the grave, so it is unaffected by, for example, like Microcosmos or Dimensional Fissure. I mean, if they're out, if those 2 cards are out, you have or your opponent has, you know, you may struggle to have 5 water monsters in your grave anyway. But just pointing out that, you know, it's not affected by that. It's not going to be, unless the text changes, which I highly doubt. But you know, it doesn't specify it has to go to the grave. So you could even make a Microcosmos deck around it, you never know. But yeah, going on to the decks that I think this is going to impact on. Atlanteans, obviously. This is probably going to go in there. Another one is Frog Monarchs, or just frogs in general. They have very easy graveyard control, you know, with Ronin Toad and so on and so forth. And the ability to just dump them at will with Swap Frog. And yeah, I think that's going to very nicely slot in there. I've got a Fenrir control deck that uses the Frog engine, and I am going to happily put 2 copies of that in, if not 3, because that card is just so good, and it's so easy to dump your graveyard full of them. Special summon Swap Frog by discarding the water, then get rid of a send a water monster from your deck to the grave using Swap Frog's effect. You know, bounce Swap Frog, then next turn, you know, that's going to be, if you manage to get the effect off both times, that's 4 waters in your grave. You know, you can probably, you know, just, I'm not even going to go through all like the different ways of dumping waters in your grave, but it's so accessible. I think it's going to be so good, and I want to get as many copies of this as I can, because I think this is going to be a brilliant card. But yeah, I mean, just discarding 2 cards from your opponent's hand is pretty good. Yeah, understandable. The second effect isn't that great, which all elemental lords probably will have, because 2 of them have it now. The fact that when it leaves the field, you skip your next battle phase. You know, you can live with that. I can live with that, especially in my Fenrir control deck. I mean, I've got so much support that I don't mind skipping a draw phase, a battle phase. Sorry. So yeah, that's just me. But you know, Frog Monarchs can quite happily sit there with their 2k defense monsters for a turn. You know, they can quite happily defend up. So I just think the amount of water support that's coming out in the next couple of months is fucking ridiculous. I'll be gobsmacked if these water decks don't top major events. I'm definitely going to be running them. You know, this Fenrir control deck, it just seems to be getting better and better in my eyes with all these water support coming out. So I'm going to quite happily, you know, have this. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. I want you guys to let me know what you think of this card. So this is Moulin Glace, the Elemental Lord, the second Elemental Lord that's coming out in Abyss Rising, which is the next box to come out in November. That was a stab in the dark. I can't remember. I think it's November, something like that. Either November or December, maybe. In a couple months' time. So you've got a while to think of how to use it. But yeah, so definitely let me know what you think of this card. Like, subscribe the video, comment down below as per usual. And as kind of a quick channel update, I'm gonna have I'm thinking of a competition to run. You know, just to kind of, you know, reward subscribers that are already following me and such, and hopefully to get in some more traffic on the channel. So yeah, thank you very much, guys, for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you later on. Peace out.